Shalom and good day all. This is Tehillim29 back again for another Vault review. And what's in the vault this time around? Goldfish by Brian Michael Bendis. Holy crap, I enjoyed this. It's been nice to catch up to Brian Michael Bendis' Jinx World. And this is certainly something enjoyable. Goldfish is, of course, the main character that you see in the front there. But I want to bring up something. The main character doesn't like to be called by his nickname. Why? Because his name is Max. This story has at least 5 to 6 chapters in it, and is so worth the read. Not only that, in this story, Brian Michael Bendis also uses sort of like models for his characters, which he does in the story, so it appears very lifelike. The first chapter, we do get introduced to Max, who is Goldfish, and there's a wonderful scene at the beginning which I really enjoy. So I'm going to go out of my way just to show you it. This is one of the earliest scenes within the book that I really enjoyed, that Brian Michael Bendis did. And you can see why. This is also being done at the Cinderella Bar, to which a lot of the background in regards to the Cinderella Bar is also used in other Jinx World stories. And on top of that, the story was really incredible. There were times within the story, of course you got a lot of Bendis speak, but also within the story you can see Brian Michael Bendis take the time to use the art to tell the story as well. And that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Now, each chapter within the story is also done in relation to playing cards. One of them is the Joker, one of them is the King, and the list continues. But there's, like I said, about 5 to 6 chapters overall, including some additional content which was awesome to read through. You do get backstory in regards to Max's character, and also some of the things that he went through when he was younger, but you also get a bit of a future to present story as to when this takes place, which is set in the 1930s. The way this story comes across in Goldfish, it really feels like the grounding for what would become Brian Michael Bendis' Murder Inc. series. So you've got the United States of Murder Inc., and then you've got the United States versus Murder Inc. And you see the connection with that. You might not see the characters, but you do get to see some areas that relate to those characters and some of the actions that relate to those characters. Well, as I start to reach the end of this review, you do get to see Max talk with his ex, and also a lot of things happen within the story, including the death of quite a few people. Yes, people do die in this book, and they don't come back to life. But you also see some things unexpected, which you don't get to see in comics much these days. So, rating for the story. Just the whole story. 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this. After this one, I'm going to review another Jinx World in another video. I'm not going to say which title yet, because depending which title I choose to review, it could be something that's got 2 volumes to it, or it could just be one huge volume. So, a couple of hints. It could be Scarlet, it could be Pearl, but it could also be Jinx. Rating for the art in this story. Now, I did enjoy that Brian Michael Bendis shared in the back of this book that he did actually use like real people as sort of like models for his characters, and that helped bring some depth, or a little bit more depth, into the story. And it works really well with some of the scenes that he set up within the story. I think that this could probably make a real okay animated movie if DC took the time to turn it into an animated movie. And if DC also turned Powers into an animated series, I'd be up for that. The rating for the art in this, a 7.5. There were some areas where I felt it could have had a little bit of work, even though a lot of it was quite consistent in regards to how certain things were used. I wouldn't call it the best of art, but it was still enjoyable art for the story. And I would recommend picking this up over Brian Michael Bendis DC comics like Legion of Superheroes or Brian Michael Bendis Superman. The list continues, including Brian Michael Bendis Young Justice. I would recommend this over those titles. Until then, let's keep it colourful. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. If you have happened to read any of Brian Michael Bendis' Jinx World titles, let me know in the comments. I would love to know which ones you have read and which ones you have enjoyed. And now that you have finally reached the end of this video, you are awesome.